Hello, hello. Today we're going to be watching The Real Housewives of New York City, Season 2, Episode 4. Let's jump right in. Jill's saying that she's been complaining to Brad, her gay husband, that she either wants to move or she wants a complete facelift on her apartment. So I think we're going with the facelift of the apartment because we're looking at fabrics. Jill goes, I kid around and call Brad my gay husband, but sometimes I want to get a divorce from him because he makes me so mad. He's so irritating. Jill's tearing apart his whole design. She's like, I don't love that. I don't like that. Jill's overwhelmed with the process. She's like, we should have started this a month ago. And she's stressed out because everything's being thrown at her right now. Brad's like, I feel good. I feel like we got things nailed down. Jill's like, no, I don't. I don't feel good about this. I think Simon and Alex were redoing their house too, right? I hope they're going to show that. Oh, the architect. Yeah, they're talking about it right now. They're redoing 2 whole floors. They want to move the kitchen from the garden level up a level. Whoa. That room is a disaster. There's stuff everywhere. Is this a storage closet? It looks like an office. Who's working there? The architect's asking about the water damage, how long it's been there. Simon just said to the architect, this is why you live somewhere. Well, the architect was like, oh, this is why you buy a house that needs renovation so you can do whatever you want with it. And Simon's like, well, this is also why you live in your house for a while so you can know what you want to do. We've changed our plans 6 times since we've lived here. Okay. They've lived here for 3 years. Simon is not a very good client for an architect because they don't get to use their vision. They're just basically a draftsman putting his ideas on paper, Simon's ideas on paper. Oh my God. Get over yourself. They're hoping that they're going to get this renovation done in 3 months for $200,000. That is, let me tell you, that is, they're moving a kitchen from downstairs to upstairs, and they're talking about they're going to have to reinforce the floors. First of all, this is going to take a year, and it's going to be $600,000. Bethany, I love saying her name like Jill. Bethany was asked to pose for Social Life magazine. Bethany's saying that this is a really big honor because this wasn't about her food and her cooking. This was a spread in a big magazine about her. So she's really proud of this. She said she had a really good time. She said it was very glamorous and she had a great time doing it. Ramona loves her house in the Hamptons because they have a great backyard. She just loves sitting in the backyard with Mario, having a glass of wine, having lunch. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm screaming. I'm screaming. They just literally, the editing on this is so genius. So they were just went to Ramona's house in Southampton. Like she's got a gorgeous house in Southampton. It's like huge. It's like huge piece of property, big pool. Like it like backs to like this like open space. Like just showed it. They switched to Alex and Simon. They go like Alex and Simon's townhouse in Brooklyn. And this above ground pool. They're backing into, look at this chain link fence with weeds all over it. I am screaming. Them hanging out in this kiddie pool. Oh my God, this is hysterical. Luann's talking about a charity called Hope Lodge that she's involved with, and she wants to tell Bethany about it at lunch. She's propositioning Bethany to cook at this Hope House charity thing. Now Luann talks about how she just got a book deal. She's going to call it Class with the Countess. She's kind of asking if Bethany likes the name and kind of explaining what it's going to be about, like her life experiences. And Bethany's like, that's been done so many times. She doesn't get the correlation to being a countess and having more manners than other people, is what Bethany's saying. Luann keeps saying she's an American Indian from Connecticut. Bethany's just ripping her shreds. She's like, it's not like you live in a castle. And like just because you married somebody with the title doesn't give you like more class than anybody else. Luann's not getting it. She's like, Bethany doesn't get it. Bethany was in a meeting with her publicist, and the editor-in-chief for the magazine that Bethany did the shoot for was like, I have a surprise for you. Can I swing by? Your publicist. So the editor-in-chief is coming by to show her the pictures from the magazine. Now they're laying them out on the floor of Bethany's publicist's office. I don't understand the relationship between her publicist, but this seems like an inappropriate interaction. And so maybe they're really good friends. I don't know. They're looking at these pictures, and Bethany said that her issue is going to get released on Labor Day weekend, which is the biggest circulation weekend. So it's a big thing. She's kind of tooting her own horn a little bit. Oh, and then she says she's going to be on the cover. Bethany's going to be on the cover. So apparently Ramona is going to be working with Mario to bring more fashions into his jewelry business. She went to his office to like talk about things. Mario's got great hair. Look at it. It's just kind of like flipped back, and he's a very handsome man. Maybe I should do my hair like that. Ramona says she wants to donate a couple of pieces for Jill's charity. Mario's on board. Now we're at the Hope Lodge where Luann is doing her charity and she wants Bethany to make the dinner menu. Bethany's telling Luann that she's got the cover for the magazine. Luann doesn't seem overly excited for her, in my opinion. Luann goes, are they doing retouching? She goes, I hope so. Luann goes, I hope so. Bethany's pissed about that. Ramona's here. Ramona says that she has a guy for Bethany to meet. Bethany's like grilling Ramona. She's like, how old is he? Does he have kids? What's happening? And Ramona's like, Jesus, just meet the guy. Really gonna cover this. So Ramona's saying like, just go out and date and date and date. Like that's how she would handle being single. That's how she did it back in the day when 15 years ago before she met Mario. She thinks it's still relevant. And Luann's like, that's not exactly how I would handle myself. Okay, first of all, we know how Luann handles herself when she divorces her husband. And that's exactly what she does. She is out there, okay, all the time. So it's so funny looking back at the Countess Luann, like old school days when she just so tips her nose at everybody. When we know the real Luann, we know the real Luann. And if you don't know the real Luann, you're going to get to know her. She's fantastic. She's messy. Ramona's like, what does Luann know? She got married at a young age. It is so, again, so funny because we can see, I know this is like 15 years ago that these women eventually get divorced. And it's so funny for people to be able to talk and say one thing because Ramona's like, that's literally what she does now. I don't think she has a partner. I don't know. I haven't been really keeping up with her, but she just like goes out and dates and like she's trying to find that perfect person. And like, it's so funny because when you have perspective of like these women are married, so they can be telling Bethany all day long what to do to find a man, but they end up divorcing their husbands and they're like a hot mess. Ramona puts her foot in her mouth and she goes, I mean, you got married to a man that's twice your age. And Luann's like, what? He's not twice my age. I don't actually know how old he is, but Luann seems very offended. And Luann's daughter's sitting right there. And so is the lady from the foundation. Like, this is so embarrassing. She goes, you look at my husband, you think he's an old man? Oh my God. And then Luann goes, your eyes are like bugging out of your head for a reason because you're like totally out of your mind. These bitches are at each other. She's putting her foot in her mouth again because Ramona's like, well, maybe it's because my husband looks so young for his age. And Luann's like, he doesn't look that young. And then Ramona just doubled down. She's like, your husband looks very mature looking. She just keeps going. She's like, he just looks older. Luann's really upset. I mean, I would be too. She's like, don't talk about my husband. Luann's like basically demanding an apology for Ramona. And she's just going on and on. Ramona's like, I'm sorry. Jill gets there and Bethany's like, you just missed the whole blow up between Ramona and Luann. Bethany said it was like a car crash against a brick wall. Alex and Simon are leaving for the Caribbean vacation to St. Bart's, and they also have to pack up the house as well, so they're very stressed. Oh, he's saying don't wear flip-flops when you're carrying things downstairs. And he's barefoot. Oh, he's like, gym shoes or bare feet. Okay, they just seem stressed. They're just like bickering at each other. They're saying they can't wait to get back from St. Bart's because the renovation should be well under the way. No, this is what happens. You leave for vacation and you're like, oh, my renovations and my project's going to be done. Contractors don't even show up. You come back, it looks exactly the same. I don't remember what happens here, but I imagine that's what's going to happen. Bethany invited Luann to lunch because she upset her at the Hope Lodge event because of the cover. She said, like, well, are they going to be doing retouching? Bethany didn't like that. So Bethany's saying, like, you hurt my feelings. Like, this is a big deal and you hurt my feelings. Luann's denying it, denying that she said that. She's like, they always do retouching. Luann seems to apologize a little bit. And then her confession, she's like, I'm shocked that she took it that way. I was trying to give her advice as a formal model. And then Luann's like, I was trying to protect you, and you're being ultra sensitive right now, I think. And Bethany's like, she's just like not really taking accountability. She's kind of doubling down. And then Luann's like, I was a little annoyed that she kept harping on it. Dog with a bone is what she say. They're literally just going back and forth. I feel like this lunch is probably 45 minutes and they probably went back and forth the whole time. Yikes. Awkward lunch. So this is the party, the social, I forget the magazine name, social life party that Bethany's like hosting because she's on the cover. Luann's getting interviewed by the editor. And she's bringing up to Luann about the whole airbrushing thing in this interview. I think Luann's a little embarrassed because she's like, the editor-in-chief obviously knows there's airbrushing and it's silly that Bethany would bring it up to her. Luann goes, it turned out okay, you look fantastic. Always the little digs. Here's Ramona. Oh, look at her dancing. Luann's giving her a toast and says that she looks absolutely beautiful and congratulations. That was sweet. She said she wanted to give her a proper toast. Bethany's now filling in, well, Jill brought it up, but Bethany's filling in like Ramona, Mario, and Bobby and everybody about the airbrushing event. This is going to be a bigger thing than I thought it was going to be or remember it to be. And that concludes the episode. What were your thoughts on the episode? Leave me a comment down below. Your thoughts on what happened, what went down. Also down below will be a playlist to all the other episodes in the season. Hit that subscribe button to check out all of my other videos coming up. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I will check you on the next one. Bye.